a B section. So I was very just heavily involved in micromanaging every aspect of the creative process, from the first song to sequencing and mastering the album and making sure everything sounds perfect. A lot of A&Rs are also, they have signing power. At Bad Boy, Puff really made those hard decisions as far as what artists we're going to sign, and he would just look to myself and Harv, for a co-sign. Like, okay, y'all feel him too. You know what I'm saying?
So, like, what are some of the artists that came through that you had that situation with, where Puff was like, hey, are you feeling this guy? And you had to make that call.
I would say Asim, rapper from Queens, B5, another kid named Nelson. There's a bunch of them over time. And again, it was just really, it's not even to say if he wasn't feeling them, he wouldn't do it, because he probably would anyway. He was that type of dude. Once he had his mindset on something, he would do it. But you know what? Since we were the ones that would have to do the albums, like, we would have to kind of get what he's trying to do anyway, what his goal was creatively.
So what are some of the most memorable projects that you worked on?
Working on Shine's album was dope to me because out of, a lot of times you have to push the artist to keep going, to get to the studio. Shine was the type of dude, like, he would beat me to the studio and be mad that I'm late. He would be upset if the engineer was 10, 15 minutes late because it's fucking up his budget. He was just a serious grind horse. Other ones like 8 Ball or MJG was probably I definitely have to say one. 8 Ball MJG was, one of the best, because it wasn't for me doing a Southern album, and I didn't grow up in the Southern hip hop, listening to a lot of Southern hip hop. So one, I had to go down south for a good period of time and soak up that Southern vibe to really be able to go in with them and creatively make a dope album. But they were just real creative dudes, and we gelled great together, man. I haven't talked to them in a while, but, every time I do talk to them, I see them, it's like, damn, almost like we're brothers. You know what I'm saying? But, we gelled great, and they were just so creative to be the hardcore Southern dudes that they are. You would never know that MJG could sit there and play classic piano. You know what I'm saying? And they was just great, man, like Batman and Robin, and I was just there to help guide them through that. But other things was like, when we were shooting the whole MTV series, working on Danny Kane and Day 26 album, at that time I was like very comfortable with myself as an A&R, as an executive. I was super confident. Puff and Harv, they had totally, let me do my thing. They didn't come to the studio too much, so I really had a lot of creative control and creative freedom at that as well. And then it was a trying time for me because I had 3 albums to do in a period of about 5.5 weeks. So it was a test. I don't think any executive A&R could ever say that they pull that off and then the album still go gold and platinum. So that to me was a very special time for me.
What are some of the craziest things that people done to get you to listen to their demo or listen to their music, period?
Oh, man, I've seen it all. People sneaking into the studio, sleeping outside in their car, for days until someone listens. Everything, man. Everything. That's the, the hunger part. I've heard people tell me, like, they just booked a one-way trips from somewhere far, don't even know how they're going to get back. But it's their dream to be an artist, and that's what it is. No money, no nothing. Just figuring it out as they go.
Pretty much to touch back on the whole Bad Boy experience, how's your relationship with Diddy?
Yeah, when needed, I'm cool. We cool in the gang, man. It's like, shit, man. After being at a company for 10 years, and I feel like in those 10 years, man, we've been through so many wars together, just like, dudes that's in the same platoon, and they go to war together, man. You build a bond. I think that ain't nothing could really fuck that up, So me and him are cool. We talk, when needed. I can't say I talk to him often, but when needed, we go back and forth on the email. And me and Harv, we're, literally like family. So, we talk all the time. But it's cool, man. They weren't happy when I decided to resign. But again, I stayed on as a consultant, and they gave me their blessings and, not as much support that I would want.
How's my rolling
have wanted, but, definitely was a just go for yours type of thing.
Cool. So let's touch on some of your ventures. PMP Worldwide, how did it come about?
Well, PNP Worldwide, man, I bumped into an old friend of mine from high school who had this idea of him and his partner had an idea of building this online. It kind of was in motion already, you know, and I came in when it was about to go in beta test mode and help them further develop it. You know, I tried to do something similar about 12 years prior, and friend from school, he knew that. So he kind of wanted to do a total another version of it on steroids, a place for music producers where they could market, promote their brand, and sell their music. And we were the first ones, actually, to come up with the concept of the artist and producer coming together online and a producer being able to submit to an artist project online. But more than that, it's a marketplace for producers to, again, brand their company names, themselves, and also just sell their music to the many independents all over the world. We have close to 10,000 independents registered as buyers that use the site to buy music from the producers.
So how beneficial do you feel it is for artists and producers to promote themselves on your site?
Well, I mean, one, it's most beneficial for any artist and producer to market and promote themselves online, period. That is a fact. If you're not doing it, then you're looking to lose. Just about all the new artists that's coming up now, they're blowing from the internet. Like Drake, I heard about Drake about 2 years ago on the internet, and he's been grinding and steady putting out good music, you know, until it came offline. So it's the same with a lot of the newer artists that started out online. So the PNP is just another great avenue, like the premier place for a producer to brand themselves, and a great place and resource for artists to brand themselves and utilize the site to find dope music. You know, that's what we're all about, the PNP. It's about one place where there's a certain level of quality of music that you're not going to find on MySpace, because MySpace is free. You know, you have kids on MySpace, you got, you know, freaks on MySpace, and in between all of that, you got people trying to do music business. It's like trying to conduct a business meeting in the middle of a playground. So the PNP was built to have a place that's aside from that. The artists, you register as buyers because you're there to buy music. And the producers, you have to pay to be on the site. Like, you know, if you're trying to do business and you want to go everywhere where it's free to do business, business doesn't work like that. And any real business person will tell you that. You know, fact is, to make money, you got to spend money. To be credible, you have to spend money. To stand out above other people, you have to spend money, because that's what real business people do. So, like, as a buyer, again, I'm sorry, as a buyer, you know, I would rather, if I'm looking for some fine furniture for my home, I would rather go to the mall and maybe a Raymore Flanagan in the mall, as opposed to going to a flea market. You know, flea market, you know, I'm going to get a cheaper deals, but it's also going to be cheaper product. You know, the PNP is like the high quality mall for music.
I know you have a lot of ventures going on. So do you ever have time to browse through PNP to look for artists and see who's dope that's on the site?
Oh, I'm constantly on the site. Again, if you're predominantly 90% producers on it, but I'm constantly on the site finding a bunch of dope producers that, you know, I wasn't aware of before. That's the beauty of it for me, being a music lover and just finding all this new talent, undiscovered new talent.
And aside from your ventures at PNP, you have a management company as well, right?
I have a consulting company, a management company. I own a rubbish removal business with my brothers. I just started a publishing division of the PNP, where we're in the middle of doing our first deal. That's about it, man. I'm thinking about opening a 99-cent store.
Taking it out of the music business.
Well, I mean, the music business is one aspect. Again, man, I just love business. You know, I want to go into real estate. There's a lot of things I want to do.
And being that you have a lot of stake and took a lot of time in the music business, what are your thoughts on the current state of hip-hop?
Current state of hip-hop? Well, I think hip-hop is regenerating itself. I think because of what's going on in the business and the lack of sales, it's forcing artists to become creative again, something I'm starting to see with the Wale's and the Drakes, popping up. It's not a lot of money